Hi, my name is Beer, and today I will tell you about Islands of Insight, a fantastic open-world puzzle game which I was playing for the past several days. This promotion is sponsored, but I have full freedom of expression and this video is totally honest. You can try the game for free as well. Click the link in the description to check out Islands of Insight demo during Steam Next Fest from February 5th to 12th. And if you like what you see, wishlist Islands of Insight on Steam ahead of the game's full release on February 13th. That is very soon. The game is almost cooked. All you need is a bit of hot wishlisting action. So, the Islands of Insight is a shared world puzzle game where you play as a seeker on your peaceful journey of exploration and discovery. By saying peaceful, I mean it. You won't find any enemies here or your evil ex-mother-in-law. The world is yours to explore without any stress. Like really, the game consists of many floating islands, but even if you fall down, you just respawn nearby without any consequences. It's also fun that they left the possibility of falling down instead of just putting invisible barriers everywhere you go. That helps with the immersion big time. I can't remember how many times I jumped down just for fun. Alright, I should probably start from the beginning, and that is a character creation. Yeah, not many puzzle games let you create yourself, that's for sure. There are not very many options, you mostly can change your colors, skin markings, and there are a few faces as well, but that is enough to have a fairly unique character. The game begins with a tutorial that throws some easy puzzles at you. I can remember this feeling from other similar open-world puzzle titles.
Oh, this game is easy. That must mean I'm super smart and my IQ is enormous.
But later I always find out that
No, Mr. Coldbeer, the only enormous thing you have is your appetite for potato salad.
yeah, that's fair. So the start of the game was really fun. I enjoyed solving various puzzles and finding new types as well. I especially liked these. The rules were always on the right, and by following them I had to solve those visual riddles. At first, of course, they were easy enough. I just had to connect the dots, if I can say it like that. But later patterns became more difficult, and the rules started to complicate things a little. Still, those were easy to solve, and the game never tried to make me feel dumb. That is great, because if the difficulty of the puzzle is, let's say, 2 out of 5, I should solve it without any problems, right? And I did. That is truly great, and I am thankful to developers for that. Of course, you can find some really hard puzzles here capable of overheating your grey brain matter. Some may even set it on fire, metaphorically only. The great thing is that you don't have to solve things that are too challenging for your brain. The islands are filled with various puzzles for various brain sizes, and even I, with my small rattle on my shoulders, solved most of the things I encountered. Most, not all. But that is a nice challenge. When you get accustomed to the game, to its various rules, you can try to solve the riddles you thought impossible at first, and finally crack them anyway. In general, Islands of Insight has over 10,000 puzzles divided across 24 puzzle types, most of which rotate on daily basis. In the open world, puzzles despawn and respawn periodically, so they won't always be in the same place when you load up the game. Only puzzles found in Enclaves, the dungeons I will tell you about a bit later, are static, they are always the same. And puzzles in the game are not only logical. The world is filled with hidden objects, visual riddles, perspective riddles, and many similar things for you to find and crack. For example, there are these rings, and you can solve them by just looking through them. The trick is that you must look only through the golden ones and not the dark ones. That may seem easy at first, but believe you me, finding the right and only angle may seem more difficult than you can imagine. And some of the puzzles will test your ability to spot objects. There are these cubes with symbols scattered all around the world, and when you find one of them, you must find another with the same symbol. Then find a spot where you can see both and connect them. Somehow I felt like a genius in this task. Finding the right cubes with the right symbols was the easiest thing. Later I realized that I was bragging to myself about the tutorial area, and in the vastness of the game these cubes can be significantly further from each other and way more hidden. In general, Islands of Insight are very fond of hidden objects. From invisible arcs you must go through to invisible rings you must jump through, although to be honest they are very visible. That probably immensely depends on your video settings, or they are just like that, I don't know. And there is this pillar of hidden objects. When you click on it, the magical field engulfs the area, and in that area you must find 5 hidden relics to solve it. At first it's quite easy, but the further you go, the harder they get. You know, to spot the hidden relics is actually quite easy, but in more advanced islands the area expands immensely, not only on the ground, but in the 3D plane as well. You can find relics hiding under the bushes, outside the pillars, or on them. Sometimes they hide in plain sight and you can't see them because they are too obvious. I also enjoyed this one, where you have to have all the pillars in one line of sight. It seems easy enough, but it's not. There is just a tiny spot on the ground where you must stand if you want to solve this puzzle, and finding the spot is a constant dribbling. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. And the game itself is a beautiful work of art. It's so surreal but great looking as well. And you can freely explore the main island's expansive open world, where most of the puzzles and secrets are found, and wonder the vibrant landscapes and architecture of its 5 distinct biomes, or spread your wings and glide above them. Yeah, here after solving a string of specific challenges you will get wings and you can use them to fly vertically or mainly glide down. But the world is filled with mountains you can easily climb, so there is no scarcity of places you can jump from like the winged seeker you are. Yeah, your story here is really interesting as well, and it is being revealed every time you interact with special lore objects. This game is not only a puzzle game but a story game as well, and with the passing time you will learn who you really are and what awaits you in your journey. Yeah, you can play the game as a single-player experience, but you can also seamlessly interact with other players in the shared world to gain or offer a bit of guidance, or choose to figure things out entirely on your own. With puzzles that refresh over time, a new discovery awaits you with every visit to the islands. So while you glide with your wings wide open, you can notice the incredible amount of puzzles this game is offering for you to solve. They are everywhere and you can pick any of them. But what's the point of cracking them, you may ask? Well, besides that this is a great brain trainer and time killer, you mean? Well, by solving puzzles you unlock new areas to explore, and with them new unseen puzzles to crack, or just bump into unsolvable walls. But if you are stuck on some difficult puzzle, the game offers hints. There are 3 hints available, but if you use all of them and still feel clueless, you can wait a bit and the hint bars will load up again. See, this is the beauty of this game, it will never leave you hanging. It will always help you to find the right way. So it doesn't matter if you are a new player in this puzzle field or a seasoned professional, the game is suited for all of us. Of course, hints are not a thing for the world puzzles. You know, for example, when you just have to find a specific place, you just have to find it, there's no other option. This way the game inspires exploration, so you won't be sitting in one place trying to crack some single puzzle. No, this is not the case. You fly around, find clues, find puzzles, find the beauty of this game. Of course, all this puzzle solving is not in vain. The more you solve, the more currency points called sparks you get, and then you can buy various different skills, from upgrading your flying speed and various performance tricks to increasing the money you get from solved puzzles. There are a bunch of skills you can unlock, so the game never feels like just a brain trainer, more like an RPG of some kind, just without monsters. Here you get better for your own personal growth. There is not even a fall damage. Oh well, what I'm talking about, you don't have a health bar at all. You are invincible here. The only thing that is not invincible is your dignity. If you get stuck on a level 2 puzzle somehow, happened to me a few times. Very humbling, I must admit that. Also, by solving puzzles, you are basically upgrading them to become more challenging. So the more you solve, the more difficult they get. Don't worry, there are still hints available. Also, a cool thing is the Enclaves, basically dungeons which feature a specifically curated set of puzzles. You must solve them to earn rewards and unlock new areas. You know, that reminded me of Hobbit, when Bilbo met Gollum for the first time. That was the original riddle dungeon. Although if Bilbo had failed to answer Gollum's riddles correctly, he would have become his dinner. And Islands of Insight are very similar, except you can't die, there is no Gollum and no dinner, just riddles to feed your brain. Anyway, here you'll find more than 20 enclaves you can explore and upgrade your island world. So basically almost all the puzzles I encountered were solvable for my tiny brain, except this fractals puzzle. It looks beautiful, but I failed to make the form that is required no matter how many times I tried. Well, I can't be good at everything, I guess. Anyway, the game is not just a great brain trainer, but I also enjoyed the time I spent there. It is very relaxing, and you know, when you spend half half of your day killing goblins, shooting evil demons crawling at you on the ceiling, Islands of Insight gives us the serenity we all deserve, especially after a hard day at work. It is just fun to solve some riddles, crack some puzzles, and enjoy beautiful scenery. So don't forget that you can try the game's demo during Steam Next Fest from February 5th to 12th, and don't forget to wishlist Islands of Insight on Steam ahead of the game's full release on February 13th. The link is down below in the description and also in the pinned comment below. And now thank you for watching, and I wish you to have a great time with this beautiful game. Have a nice day and I'll see you next time. Bye.